I have reasons to distrust you things, so we're going to go on the record. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Marquise Washington II, 24-03116 SM. Appearance, please.
George Zanetta, on behalf of the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lawrence Sutter on behalf of Mr. Washington, who joins us via Zoom.
Okay, Mr. Washington, today was the date that was scheduled for sentencing. I did allow for you to appear via Zoom because you have indicated to the court that you reside in Florida. Are you in Florida now?
Correct.
Okay. And so there's been an updated report provided from our probation department indicating that you were picked up on a bench warrant. And at the time, there's allegation that you were under the influence or intoxicated and refused a PBT at the jail. And intoxication would obviously be in violation of your release from custody, as we're here to sentence you on a case involving alleged intoxication. And so there's also some concerns about the truthfulness. This is coming from the report from the officer about your actual living in Florida. What is your address in Florida? That's where you are now?
Yes.
Okay. Go to the front door and let me see the
address not on the house.
Let me see the address. Go to the front door so I can see the number on the house.
The address is not on the house, ma'am.
Okay, go outside and I want to see what's outside.
Hold on.
There's no leaves on that tree, and you want me to believe that you're in Florida. I'm remanding you. Your bond is revoked. You need to appear in person. You're not in Florida.
How am I? What the?
Oh, Your Honor, if I may.
You can may all you want. He's lying. Did you see those trees that I just saw?
I do. I'm also seeing the trees and the picture I found on Google Earth of that house.
I don't care. I just came back from Florida.
I know.
What part of Florida has bare tree right now? None of them.
Holiday.
Not a single.
Richie.
No, there's trees that have no leaves in his background. And all of a sudden, he doesn't have a number on his address on the front of the house.
The house doesn't.
Okay, you're done talking. You need to appear in person. Any additional matters for the record? I'm revoking this bond.
Would you allow him to go into the driveway, show you the entire front of the house?
He can do that if that's what you think is going to change my mind.
Mr. Washington, can you go into your driveway and show the judge the entire front of the house you are in right now?
Yeah, but I mean, shit, bro, it's all good. I'm not about to keep. I'll just come in person.
No, your attorney wants you to go outside and show us the house. Go outside and show us the house.
Come on, show.
Turn your camera around. We don't want to see you. We want to see the house.
My camera don't turn around.
Well, then point it not at your face, Mr. Washington. We don't need a selfie of you. It's not the house. That's a garage.
Oh, this is the house.
No, she wants you to go to the driveway so that we can see. Step out further into the street.
It's all the paper at this point.
I'm trying to figure out what is this like?
Okay. Yeah, the point is that you're not in Florida. That's the point. The bond is revoked. He's remanded once he's in custody. You're all set, sir. Turn yourself in on the warrant.
Okay.
There's going to be a probation violation in general because of the fact that he was arraigned on and drunk. So they'll definitely
set the sentencing and then set it for repeated bond violation.
We're going to reset the sentencing. It needs to be set for arraignment on bond violations. and his bond is revoked. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Cadence Blundell, 24-02054, appearances.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lawrence Sutter, on behalf of Mr. Blundell, who is opposing counsel for the now.
Okay, Blundell was scheduled for a hearing for a probation violation that he was previously arraigned on. The violations allege that she failed to refrain from alcohol, that she had not provided any proof of 12-step attendance and probation, which was supposed to be one time per week, and that she had not provided any proof that she's completed a victim impact panel within 90 days. What else do you have?
I'm going to ask the court to consider holding violation number 12 in abeyance. She has completed the hours. She has submitted the documents for the overseer to sign off on, and that person hasn't sent them back to her yet to provide to Jody. She has completed the hours, she's just waiting on signatures. She provided to me today the contact information for that person, that they just haven't gotten back to her yet.
Where do you complete your hours?
Housing Services of Mid-Michigan.
What about the 12-step attendance?
She has been doing attendance there. She does admit it is not quite at the frequency the court has ordered. I reminded her today that Zoom AA attendance can be an option. She was unaware of that. She's going to talk to Ms. Bayless about whether she will be permitted to do AA attendance. She's struggling right now. She knows it's free. She's struggling with the work scheduling and doing it and going in person. And I do think her doing attendance with AA on Zoom would allow her to do during lunch breaks, after hours, at night, something that she didn't appear to be aware of before.
Just to be clear, you are waiving your hearing, correct? You don't want a hearing today on your violations. You understand that you had the right to have that hearing today to have the prosecutor prove or establish that you made these violations of your probation?
Yes.
Okay, and there's a request for me to essentially hold in abeyance what about the community service, and then Ms. Bayless is requesting a dismissal for one because it was completed. However, my concern is none of these things have been done on the date that she was ordered to do them. And so that is what my bigger issue is here. What are you doing for work? Even in following the order of the court, or what is it that's causing you not to get it done?
No, I could cut back my hours to do that, and that is on me for not doing that. I have just been working a lot, but I can.
What hours do you work at?
It varies between 25 to up to 30.
Per week?
Yes.
It sounds like you have plenty of time to do what you need to do. It doesn't sound like you need to cut back on your hours. It sounds like when you have your free time, you need to do it. What else? What are you doing after work?
I guess, yeah.
Hanging out?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
How old are you?
19.
You look much younger than that. So what's holding you up from going down there and signing up for your classes?
I just need to do it, and I understand that now.
I don't know why you didn't understand it when we first put you on probation.
If I may.
Yeah.
So some of what we talked about is she has admitted to me she has been diagnosed with OCD. She struggles with doing many things at once. She is a person who struggles to do anything other than completely doing one thing and then completely doing the next thing. So she is struggling to do all these orders of the court. We've talked about it before. I do think she's trying, and she acknowledges that she is struggling. She knows the court is telling her she needs to juggle things. She needs to do multiple things at once, and she's struggling there. So I think she's working on, as she's getting older and going through this process, learning how to do more than one thing at a time, because adult life requires you to do more than one thing at a time. I think I am seeing some growth in her in doing that, particularly with She has been doing these community service hours. It's something she's talked to me about for the last several months is getting these hours done. I've dealt with Mr. Mass before. I've talked to him about this, and she acknowledges she's struggling. She's acknowledging that she's not doing this in the timeline the court ordered. She knows that she is struggling with more than just work right now. It is a kind of mental barrier.
You gotta do more than one thing at one time at work. And she wants to move higher up. You're gonna have to multitask. All of us have to do more than one thing at one time from time to time. No one said that you needed to do the 12-step and the VIP at the same time. That's not what we said. We gave you plenty of time. None of these things are requiring you to do them all at the same time. Keeping up with deadlines and dates. What kind of phone do you have? iPhones come with calendars, and they can send all kinds of fancy reminders. You don't even have to remember it yourself. When you get this level of complexity to your life where you got to be pulled in different areas at the same time, you start relying on your calendar more to remember. I got a deadline. I got to do what I got to do. And then I spend the rest of my time doing what I want to do. And then I come into court and cry because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. You've got to take responsibility for your actions, not just during the 30 hours a week that you're working, at all times. You have entered into adulthood. You've also entered into adult criminal actions. And so now you got to take responsibility and get on track. And so I'm not just going to dismiss a violation because you took care of it after I told you to take care of it. The best I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this entire ordeal in abeyance so that you can go and bring proof that you've done everything you were supposed to do. I want you enrolled in a GED program immediately. I want you attending your 12-step program meetings. You can call your probation officer, text your probation officer, email, go down one form, you leave here, whatever you need to do to make sure you get clarity as to what your options are so that you can make sure that your treatment fits into your life the way it needs to. Because it needs to fit into your life. Otherwise, you will be at jail. Do you understand that?
I do.
Okay. As to the alcohol, there's nothing you can bring me unless you're bringing me through proof that you didn't drink, and you have no business drinking because you're under order not to be drinking. And so I better not get another violation between now and this next court date. The only thing I better get is documentation that you have brought everything into compliance. Do you understand that?
Yes, Sharon.
Picture notice to appear. Do you have any questions for the court at this time?
No.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further.
We're all set for now.
All right, I think I got the mute off. Hey, everybody, welcome to American Courts. It's a Wednesday. I keep wanting to say the week's almost over, but we're just halfway through, so we'll keep fighting it out. We got Judge Fleischer, we got another Judge Simmons, and we got a Judge DeSanto. It looks like we got another one, but I can't see the screen. It's a little too small. So let's see. Oh, it's the Judge Middleton one. So let's jump over to the Judge Middleton one. Let's knock that out, and we'll go on to the other one. We'll do Judge DeSanto there at the ends. All right, here we go with Judge Middleton now.
That's you?
Yes.
File number here is 20971 S. It's a 2020 case. It was Judge Patterson's. Defendant was charged with operating while intoxicated in May of 2020. Pled guilty to that charge and was placed on probation to Judge Patterson. Autumn Kiefer was assigned as the defendant's probation agent. She's here this morning. Also present is Mr. Keith Stickley, the Chief Public Defender. There is currently a bench warrant for the defendant's arrest issued by Judge Patterson, and it's been outstanding for some time, since 2020. The defendant called in 2022 and inquired as to the status of this bench warrant, and she was told she needed to come turn herself in. Then she called in December of 2024, was given the same information. So today, half an hour ago, she presented herself at the court. And because Judge Pattison is occupied, I am here. So, Ms. Maddox, there's a bench warrant for your arrest with a bond in the amount of $500. You failed to appear for a probation violation arraignment. The arraignment petition, way back filed on December 3rd of 2020, set a hearing for December 14th of 2020. It alleged that you failed to abstain from the use of alcohol or intoxicants and or submit to testing. And then eventually, you just stopped reporting. You didn't show up for the probation violation hearing on that day, and Judge Pattison issued a warrant. Autumn Kiefer's recommendation at that time was that your probation be revoked as unsuccessful, and they imposed the reserve 3 days of jail that Judge Pattison had reserved for failing to comply with the probation. So let's go back to what we were supposed to do in December of 2020. It is an allegation that you violated your probation by failing to test as directed and or using alcohol as directed, and then by failing to appear or report for several years. Do you understand the allegation?
Yes.
All right. As I indicated, Ms. Kiefer's recommendation would be that your probation be revoked, which they'd get off your back and you serve the 3 reserved days. I don't know what Judge Pattison would do with this, but I spoke with Autumn on the phone after you came in. And is that still your recommendation, Ms.
It is,
Kiefer?
Your Honor.
Now, the gentleman with you is Mr. Keith Stickley. He's our chief public defender. He also dropped whatever else he was doing to come here and be present for this. And Mr. Stickley, what's your defendant's position here?
So my understanding at this time is that she would like to make admissions to the failure to appear. I think she'd like to have a discussion regarding before any sentence is imposed. But the fact that there's an FTA and that she presented herself today, I think speaks for the fact of that there obviously is a failure to appear. And so,
All right. Well, let's talk about that. You have a right to have a hearing on a probation violation. At that hearing, it would have to be shown by at least a preponderance of the evidence that you violated the term of probation. You would have a right to have an attorney with you. I could appoint one. It won't be Mr. Stickley. He's just here to make sure we're procedurally correct. But your original attorney, I don't think you had one, but I could appoint one. You could also simply admit or acknowledge the violation, and then we would proceed to the sentencing. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Do you acknowledge that at that time in the fall and early winter of 2020, you either didn't tested positive, or failed to appear? In fact, you haven't appeared in several years. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So move, and it admits PV. All right. What would you like me to know?
I didn't have any transportation, and I stay in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I just paid someone to give me a ride, $50 to get down here.
$50?
Yeah, that's all I had.
All right.
Besides what the bond money that I got. So altogether, I have $550. So I got the $50 for him and the $500 for my bond.
All right. I had them run your driving record and criminal history. Nothing shows up in the last 4 years. So apparently you didn't get picked up for anything. You did know this was outstanding and called a couple of times.
Yeah, because every time I would get a ride on them days, they told me that they had something to do or they wouldn't be able to take me.
All right.
And my parents are older, so they don't even have a car, and I don't have one either.
Do you still live on Leona Avenue?
Correct. The only thing probably changed is my phone number is 269-364-1605.
If I may add, Your Honor.
Yes.
Discussing the matter with her, the possibility of sentencing, she understands that the potential of jail is there going along with this plea, but she does ask that fines and costs be imposed, and assuming that the court would discharge her from probation, do that. She hasn't, as the court has already said, and I was just going to reiterate, she has not had any negative contact with the criminal justice system since this happened. She is in a difficult situation to get down here to Centerville. She doesn't come to our county anymore. She doesn't have a vehicle. She's not driving, and she experiences some financial hardship, Your Honor. So she's presenting herself here today and asking the court for a discharge.
Okay, thank you. The facts of this case are scary. You were driving southbound in the northbound lanes of US 131 with a blood alcohol level of 0.203. So I certainly understand why Judge Pattison put you on probation. Ms. Kiefer's recommendation is that I revoke your probation, excuse all outstanding fine and costs, and give you the 3 days that Judge Pattison was going to give you in the first place. We can do that and get this over with right now. If you wish to have this matter done by Judge Pattison, I'm going to cancel your bond and let Judge Pattison see you either later today or tomorrow. What's your preference?
I just want to get it over with, but I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, that's common. I don't know if he might give you more than this. Do you have any objection to me doing this as opposed to Judge Pattison?
I don't know who is who, so I just want to get it. It doesn't matter.
All right.
Your Honor, I think she can, she's indicated to me that she's comfortable with you sentencing her and ending the matter today.
All right, 3 days, credit 0, leaving 3 days to serve. All fines and costs are waived, whatever's left and is waivable. And I will, probation is revoked. Yes?
I just wanted to say something. This is my aunt, and her daughter is in prison, and she.
All right, come up to the podium if you would. I can't hear you.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Jennifer Coker.
For what?
Coker, Coker.
Okay.
And this is my aunt, and her daughter, which is my cousin, is incarcerated, and she takes care of my little cousin, which is her granddaughter. And it's been hard, you know, and my car got crashed into is why I couldn't bring her here. But she does.
Well, thanks for bringing her, but she's gonna go to jail for 3 days unless she wants to run the
But
risk of
she
having Judge
takes
Pattison
care-
give her about 90 more.
She takes care of her granddaughter, and she don't, like, that's all she got, like, and I just wanted to say
Where's
that
your granddaughter now?
at school.
She's going now with my daughter's girlfriend. She moved out of state.
Oh, your granddaughter's gone out of state?
Yeah.
Just because we had to come to court today.
All right, well, she'll be okay for the next 3 days if she's out of state. But you're gonna go to jail for 3 days. I'm revoking your probation. I'm off your back. Judge Pattison's off your back, and you don't owe any more money. Thank you. You're all good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Like, it's not nothing else y'all can,
Yes?
like, I was just saying, like, I'm, like, cause she came here.
I
like,
understand, but she
Because in
owes 3 days and
Kalamazoo,
this
they
was a
wouldn't
bad
do that.
set of facts. So, I can let the other judge do it. She might get more than this.
That's
So,
true.
all right, we'll just call it good.
Kalamazoo wouldn't do that. I'm sorry, True. That's
Well, she's not in Kalamazoo.
I
I'll
see.
just give her the number to get into my phone.
All right,
Call my mom.
thank you.
Yeah, what do you want?
It's
Hang on. Live feed going on there.
All right, we'll stop the live feed. I don't know if I'll be back this afternoon or some other walk-ins.
All right. Did that lady that was her aunt? Did she said that she gave her a ride? I thought she paid $50 for a ride there, but yep. Judge Milton does not do interviews. I think for what he did with Drummer Troy, I think he said basically he's fine with it. They hate how the clickbait titles and stuff like that mislead things. And like with this lady here, you could throw a big clickbait title on, like, holy hell, she avoided the police for 5 years. Or you could say she stepped up to her responsibility. She showed up to the court and she's taking her 3 days in jail like an adult. So, the judges probably hate the sensationalizing. In the end, it's fair game. So, like Dana said, family card didn't work. She had to go take her 5 days or 3 days, and she'll be out. She had a .2 driving the wrong way down the road, so she was trouble. So, all right, well let's jump over to Judge Fleischer. He had a follow up today on one where the lady stole like $800,000 from some old folks, and there was an update there. I actually missed it, so we all gonna get to watch it. So here we go with Judge Fleischer.
I hope that you're not using, because if you are, it's not going to go well. Not enough time has passed, but I'm giving you another couple weeks. If I find that you test, that means that you've continued. It's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? What are you doing with yourself now?
On a job.
Wonderful. Doing what?
Prom Flight. Prom Flight. The company's called Prime Flight.
Hey, doing what?
At the airport.
Okay. Are you working full time? You're working at the airport? They're going to test you there.
You did.
Thank you. Man, it's not going to go well. You understand?
Sir.
All right. So let's set it 3 weeks. I want him back to test one more time. If he's clear, then we're good to go. Then we'll go normal. If it's not, I don't know what we're going to do.
Yes, Sean.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Good luck, Ms. Andrews. Shreya.
Morning, Judge.
Hi. Good morning. Hi, Mr. Kim.
Judge, we're here on Jodicia Gillis. Last time we talked 2 days ago, you asked me for proof of her travel back and forth. That's her I-94. So when it says ARR, it means arrived in and departed from. So you can see, yes, she departs, arrives, departs. She's back and forth for years. She had just a snippet. She works on H-2B visas for about 6 months to 2 years, depending on her contract, through various companies. Stein Erickson Collection, it's hospitality, was in 2020. South Carolina Kiowa Resort was 2022 to 2023. And then the most recent one, April to October of 2024, was St. Joe's Company Hospitality, where she works at various resorts. After that, she was here on a vacation visa, so she was not here illegally. And then she has to go back to Jamaica, get her new contract, and come back. So
Have you seen this, Mr. Kim?
I haven't, but I verified through DHS. So it wasn't a misrepresentation, but she was previously on a work visa. However, it expired last year. So legally speaking, she's on a tourist visa. And Shreya's tried her hardest, but she's armed with allegedly $780,000. She's not an American national. She's out here on a tourist
So
visa.
what we would do is we would have her surrender a passport then.
yes, let's do it.
So I mean, that's what it says. Like if Judge rules out, it's going to be the first thing. But just because with the amount of money, just allegedly the amount of money that she has stolen and the fact that she's here on a tourist visa, I'm still opposed at no bond. But if the court grants a bond, that would be my request for.
I mean, I'm okay. We have no other criminal history, right?
No, Judge, but
It doesn't appear that she's a danger, right? She's got a young kid. Did the nursing thing work out?
No, but almost, because of red tape. So I bought it with my own money, but because of red tape, they won't let me bring it. Don't worry, I just verified from Sylvia that at some point we came upon the conclusion that if you deny the PR bond and if whatever, we're gonna bring her to court every day so she can pump. Then in the afternoons, she has to go to the hospital every day.
I don't know about, I'm not gonna do a PR bond. Because I think that at the very minimum, you need to have some skin in the game so that you,
Okay, what kind of bond were you thinking?
I don't know, what,
I said, I still stand by, I have to defer the court because I'm still standing on the no bond because of the circumstances. And so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but just in terms of the allegations and over the long period of time, and again, for the other same reasons, is that
I mean, she's alleged to have, what, I mean, close to $750,000.
So how much?
That's,
She's not convicted. This is the question I asked today. She's not convicted. She's charged. And we're not talking about the underlying facts. It was a 2B. There could be various defenses. All we're talking about is how to get her to Pennsylvania. But if we are considering the underlying facts, I would like to know how much Harris County, the sheriff's office, and this court values a mother's right to breastfeed. 770,000? If we're talking numbers, because she has been denied access. The Harris County Jail has admitted and is scrambling. And I'm talking CEO of Harris Health right now. Like they are scrambling. They have been asking me multiple times, why is she not getting a PR bond? Why is she not getting a PR bond? So I'm asking you that on behalf of the people that I've spoken with, why she is not getting a PR bond, knowing that they cannot provide those facilities. And we're at the point where I have to bring her daily. I'm appointed and I paid for it with my own money. I'll donate a $300 pump, but they won't take it. So because of the red tape, she is.
bring her here so she can she use a pump here?
So I
You guys
bought,
okay with that?
and that's the thing. They said, we don't know if they'll allow that because technically she can't go back to the holdover with the pump I bring. So that's asking me to every day bring a pump so she can pump. I'll go home, I'll disinfect it and I'll bring it back. But this is insanity, Judge. She's a nonviolent offender. We don't even know if Pennsylvania wants to pick her up. We're fighting, I mean, the state is fighting a battle and saying this woman cannot breastfeed. They barely are getting a pump. And I find this absolutely crazy. She's been in custody for 6 days. She has to go to the shower and hand express. They refuse to give her.
Look, she's charged with a criminal offense of.
I'm saying she's going back. She's going back.
$750,000. It just so happens that it happens at the time when she gives birth. I mean, it never, when someone gets arrested, it's never at the best time. Oh, you know what? Thank God I got arrested now. I mean, shista happens, right?
Sure.
It just does. But there's consequences to behavior.
And let's take her passport and make her go back. I have contact with her father who's going to come get her. I've contact with her mother. She's not leaving the country. There's no flight risk.
So for what it's worth, in terms of if she waived, I asked Amy to call to see if it flipped to a waiver, because technically and legally, right now, they're only pursuing a governor's warrant because she's a refusal. So I asked Amy to call to figure out when the fastest they could come if she waived today. And she got a hold of Corporal. They're supposed to call her back today because the person in charge of it.
Know that Pennsylvania still.
That's the other question I asked, because technically the decision would lie with the prosecutor. So she's right now calling the DA's office in Pennsylvania, because the sheriff's office only obviously facilitates whatever that decision is. As far as what the extradition confirmation was, they are willing to extradite.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I can't show preference to anybody. I get it that she's nursing and stuff, but how am I supposed to show preference to anybody? I have to be fair to everybody. I can't show preference.
It's a nonviolent first-time offender.
Well, and so that's
Flight
why
risk.
I'm not asking you for $25,000, because otherwise in this type of situation, I would say no bond or somewhere in the neighborhood of like 25 grand. So I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Like $1,000?
I don't.
Fine.
1,000?
Sure.
Okay.
There's consequence. Can you bring her out, please? Guys, do you mind bringing her out? Gillis?
And sorry, and this obviously is relevant, were you able to confirm who actually has her passport to surrender? Because if that's going to be a condition of,
The DHS wherever she got arrested.
okay,
Oh, I'll ask her right now. She knows.
okay. Because I'll have to call,
So
because I'll
what's the
surrender.
actual charge? Is it like misappropriating?
So the way it was written was theft by deception, false impression. But then I'll have to because the alternative is if it's going to be kept in DHS, then it would be an order from the court that would be submitted to DHS so that they don't inadvertently release it to another authorized party. Because otherwise it would have to be surrendered to the clerk's office, which obviously to facilitate that, that's going to take a couple of days. So you have to bring it here and release. I don't know what kind of form they have to fill out.
So I'm going to give this back to you. Do you want to see this? So it looks like she
Well, I
does.
took on the
She
travel.
does travel credit.
Did I forward it to you? There's so many emails.
I don't take
on
issues on
Here,
the
you
travel
want
part.
it? Let's, come on, Amy, say they don't want her.
Well, they didn't answer. I think they're on lunch break because they closed during the lunch hour system.
Seriously?
Yeah, I did leave a voice message with the person I talked to.
I will call after the approach.
Well, regardless though,
Well, no, I'm saying if they don't want to extradite, then the bond becomes irrelevant. And I just,
Then we don't have to fight.
I'll call, I'll figure it out. I'll get somebody.
I mean, I can't imagine that that's why, you know? Really.
It's Pennsylvania.
I don't
I don't know.
Who has your passport right now?
It's in Alden,
What do you mean holding? Like which?
here downstairs.
Oh, they have it here.
So then they would have to be surrendered to the clerk's office.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's at the,
Yes, evidence.
got it, okay.
Okay.
So that's even
And
better.
I think Paria has a copy of the form if you don't already have one to
Okay,
have.
I'll email it.
So your lawyer is asking for me to set you a bond so that you can go turn yourself in to Pennsylvania. I will acquiesce and I will set your bond at $1,000. However, before I do that, I'm ordering you to surrender your passport because I'm not going to trust you that you're not going to go. You do a lot of international flight and I don't want you to take off on me
No, sir.
because I need you to answer the charges that you're wanted for out of Pennsylvania because I mean, that's what we do. So the other thing I need you to understand is that from the time that you bond out, we give you 2 weeks from the date of your release to turn yourself in that jurisdiction. If you fail to do that, the bond that I set here now, I'm going to revoke it, set it at 0. I will not give you another one. I will issue a nationwide warrant for your arrest. You can't run forever. I will get you, and this time I will physically hold you. And it doesn't matter if you're nursing this or if you're doing that. I don't care. You need to understand that. I cannot show you favorable treatment. I understand that you're nursing, but I have to treat everybody the same way. It doesn't matter if Jesus was here. I have to treat everybody the same way, and I do. I try to be as fair as possible, help you out as much as I can within the limits of the law. So understand, I'm happy to set you up. Well, otherwise, because if I thought you were a danger or flight risk, I wouldn't set you a bond. So I am going to set you one, and it's a low bond at that, at $1,000. Normally it's, 5 to 10, but understand, I'm going to hold you to it. So if you just take off and you don't go turn yourself in, you understand?
I was planning to drive over and not fly over, where it'll be a little bit more easier for me to
That's
get there.
probably a good, well, look.
Yeah, you'll get arrested at the
Freya
airport. We already
told you
talked about
exactly
your
how
dad
to do it.
driving you.
You don't want to take another risk where they,
Yes, sir.
because understand, we're letting you out. That warrant is still a valid warrant. So you get stopped somewhere else, they'll take you into custody. So you have to be careful. The only other thing I'm going to say, don't wait till the last day
No, sir.
because, all right,
Understand.
quick. Anything else? Question?
No, I'll meet you back.
Well, do you think you'd be able to get it today for the passport surrender for,
Me?
well,
Oh, I'll do it right now.
okay,
Yeah, I'll make sure I don't leave court without it.
okay.
I
Then I'll
have
stand
two
down until that.
passports, so I'd have to
What?
double check.
What do you mean you have 2 passports? Where are they?
Because one is they're downstairs, so.
Okay, well, both of them will go.
Yeah, now it's both.
Because I think one is the H2B.
Well, guys, I'll let you
Okay.
talk about it.
Well,
and-
all your
Sorry.
passports, got it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, hi.
Yes.
Hi, Jillian. Good morning.
Not much. I have Mr. Jones back on docket. He did his T-Raz.
Jones, which Jones? I don't remember.
Joshua Jones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The T-Raz came back. I think they recommended outpatient treatment. I believe so.
Yeah, Fozzie, she said she had 2 passports, and I was like, no, that's not good at all. There's all kinds of red flags on there. I'm oddly curious what the judge was seeing that I'm not, because to me there was a lot going on there. But I have been married long enough to know not to get in the breastfeeding debate there. I'm gonna leave that one alone. I feel bad for the victim of the crime. I feel bad for the baby, not so much for her. But at some point you just got to trust that the judge, he's known what the rules are and he's making his decisions. But this next one here is interesting. This one you got to watch it all the way through. If you hadn't seen it today, you know, make your comments, think what you think, but then by the end of it, see if your comments are still the same, see if your thoughts are still the same about it. So here we go.
Yes.
Okay.
They recommended outpatient with 2 open DWI.
They recommended our.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it because I told you I would do whatever they do. But if he mucks it up, he's going into an inpatient. That'll be used as a sanction.
Okay. Will you take a year probation?
What do you think, State?
I'm sorry, I don't have.
This is Jones, Joshua Jones. He has 2 open DWIs. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't find that.
I think 2 years is appropriate so that we know.
Judge, you know what spot that puts me in. We can go to trial and get the same thing.
Okay. On 2? 15 months.
Okay, that's.
I'll talk to him.
It'll still be under. All
But
right, sounds good.
I don't know. He's gonna get tested a lot,
Yeah,
you know?
I will.
He's using.
I guess.
I'll let him know.
Yeah, because then you would be in first position, because you don't know if I was on script and I knew by myself, then I would have to personal on all of you. He's on such a job. But you see what I mean? Like, so I'm not sure what to say. Because I can't just make a bond if there's no bond revoked.
Oh, Jillian, he's a bond violation. Come up, Mr. Jones. Come up.
Judge, I think the assessment to have them go into physics and move on.
What is the violation?
Alcohol and weed. I have done everything in my power to try to keep you out of custody. You have 2 open DWIs. I was now going to grant the fact that you had negotiated an intensive outpatient treatment. You now are testing positive for alcohol and marijuana while you're on bond for this case. And I have told you repeatedly that you are at no tolerance, Mr. Jones.
I don't do drugs. Period and point blank.
I have here.
Don't say anything. Can I get a copy of the bond violations before we discuss
Is
it?
it impending?
It's and ready for judge.
I don't know why it's not cool.
March 13th, the results were confirmed by the lab for alcohol and THC. Oh, wait. Joshua Dante Jones, right? Joshua Dante Jones? This has got, I don't know, something's wrong here.
I'm not understanding. I'm not saying.
Something's wrong. We need to put pretrial services on probation, man.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it says here, Mr. Jones,
I don't see it in ready for judge.
no, it's wrong. It's wrong. Let me see it. It's wrong. Let me see. Yeah, it's wrong. It's a Joshua Dante. It's the exact same. You're good.
So we're good.
Hey,
It wasn't you. We're good.
That's not you.
Let's go talk again.
Sorry to scare you.
Let's go talk.
He's good.
Judge, you stated this was in ready for judge?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Was it an error on our end?
I'll be right back. All right, coming up, guys. Mr. Jones,
You gave him members, right?
Yes.
I want to apologize for getting mad at you. I had the wrong person, so it wasn't you. So I'm sorry for raising my voice and getting upset with you. And the reason I got so upset was because you have 2 open DWIs. It's serious business. It's not a, and so if I see someone that has those kind of cases that are open and when they start having more violations, that really tells me that there's a problem, which is not your case. I mean, I haven't seen any violations, which I'm hoping it stays that way. The idea is that you learn something when you get here, so you leave better than you came, because the last thing we want is for you to become a statistic. We have enough of that. We don't want any more. We don't want any more death on our streets. That's exactly what we're trying to prevent. And everything we do now here is to help you and give you the tools to make you better when you go out in the world, so that you think next time, if you do want to get lit, right? If you want to have 32 shots of tequila, 52 joints, or whatever it may be, right? That you think before getting into a car. Because God forbid, it's that one mistake that you dig such a hole you never crawl out of. That's the idea, You've worked a great deal here, really, where they're going to dismiss one of your DWIs, you're pleading to the other one. Nevertheless, when an officer pulls you over, the first thing they do, what do you think they do? They look at your record because they want to know who they're dealing with. If they look at your record and they go up to you in the car and they smell alcohol or dope, it's probably not going to go well. So the idea is, if you're going to get lit, if you're going to have that, be like that, take an Uber. Do you understand? The agreement that you've worked out is, like I said, they're going to dismiss one of the DWIs. You're pleading guilty to one of the DWIs, so it will go on your record. You are now entering into an agreement, a plea bargain with the state. The agreement is 180 days in jail to be probated for 15 months. As part of the agreement, you will do a DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels. You will do a TRAS with conditions. You have already done the TRAS. The TRAS has recommended intensive outpatient treatment followed by supportive outpatient treatment, which is good. I'm telling you, I thought they were going to order you to do inpatient treatment. That's what I thought they were going to do. So this is great for you because you're not going into lockup. But understand, it's not easy. You have to get it done. If you don't, you understand. No drugs, no alcohol, no breath test refusal. So if you're pulled over in a car, an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it. Guardian interlock, a $100 one-time donation to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and 25 hours of community service. I will make you a deal. Your license is now suspended. I had them look it up to see whether you can drive or not. You can't drive now because your license is suspended. It's suspended until 2026 as to what the state saw and looked up. If you get your license back, I will waive that community service for you. I would rather you spend the time to try to get your license back and get liability insurance, car insurance. If you do, I'll take off the 25 hours of community service. You understand? If you fail at this agreement, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to bring you back out. We're going to have a talk about whether you violated this probation. If you do, you're looking at 180 days in jail. You understand? The worst possible thing you can do is just take off. If you do, that's an instant warrant. The other worst possible thing, if you pick up another DWI. If you do, I'm just going to lose even more hair. Don't, really. If you ever have a problem, come back, talk to us. We can always work it out. There's never nothing that we can't work out. Anything can be worked out. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you plead guilty to this offense, it will go on your record. You can never take it off. Is this what you want to do? How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Yes. I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement. I'm not going to suspend your license. It's already suspended because of the ALR hearing. So don't just start driving until you get it back. Because you don't have a license, we're going to order you to get a portable device. I've been paying for it now while you're on bond for this case. I can't pay for it any further. Reduce his fees, please. The other thing that you need to understand is DWI is big business. There is a $3,000 surcharge that one normally tack onto this. I'm going to take it off now. But from now on, you ever pick up another DWI, that's a second. From now on, it's a minimum of 30 days in jail and a $6,000 surcharge on a second DWI. Do you understand? All right, good luck, sir. Thanks, Jimmy. You can wait now.
All right, so thoughts on this one is that the judge handled it like a professional. He handled it like a true man. I got a ton of respect for the judge and how he handled it. Anyone who's been an employer of an employee who's known for being in trouble understands what the judge went through. Anyone who's been a parent knows what the judge has been through, and he handled it well. And if I were the defendant, I think he handled it well too. He told the judge he doesn't do drugs, and I automatically assume when he said he doesn't do drugs that was him kind of politely admitting to drinking. But he held up his end. He didn't act like an ass to the judge, and it all worked out in the end. I sure would have loved to have been listening in on that conversation with pretrial. But it was an interesting to watch it happen because it was lively as could be as it was happening, and then to see how the judge handled it, he did well. Speaking of which, I got catfished today. I thought it was the funniest thing. Someone just said, "Am I available tomorrow?" And it was just a wrong number. And the nice, polite lady told me it'd be great to meet up one day. She's a 38-year-old Asian lady, and I hope I'm not racist. And I explained to her that, no, I'm not racist at all, but my wife doesn't let me date Asian women. And the conversation went downhill from there. But just letting you know, if somebody sends you the wrong message, just let it go. They let it go. It ain't worth it. My wife, I thought she was coming after me there. So, but anyways, let's jump over to yeah, we got another Judge Simmons, and then we'll go to Judge DeSanto there.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Public Defender Lawrence Sutter. I'm talking to Tatum, who's standing to my right.
Tatum scheduled for a hearing today, and this is for a violation of probation. Okay, looks like the violations alleged that you violated the amended order from November 18, 2024 for AgriHealth that you failed to submit to random year analysis on January 5th, January 17th, January 22nd, February 1st, February 10th, February 22nd, and that you failed to complete victim impact canvas. That's what he's pleading to?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's correct, sir. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury. Yeah. Okay. Now, do you understand, sir, in this matter that you have the right to have a contested hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to plead guilty?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone threatening you to do that?
Yeah.
Any promises being made to you if you plead guilty?
Yeah.
What's the promise?
No. No.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Tatum, is it accurate that you underwent sentencing in front of Judge Simmons on June 17th of 2024?
Yeah.
And at that time, you were ordered to a term of probation.
Yeah.
And during that time, you were ordered to do random urinalysis or preliminary tests breath test screening.
Yeah.
And is it true that on the dates the court has already read into the record that you did not submit for testing? Can you acknowledge that's a violation of your probation orders? Thank you, and I believe that satisfies the factual basis.
Any questions from you, City?
On your order.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea and find your plea may be voluntarily and intelligently. I have a recommendation from your probation officer indicating that your attendance at community mental health has been inconsistent, and that your overall attitude seems good, but your progress is poor. Well, that sounds easy because it looks like November 18th, defendant pled guilty to violations. I said that he would serve 93 days Ingham County Jail to be held in abeyance if he had no further violations, and that he would enroll in outpatient substance use treatment, and that he needs to provide proof within 7 days, and that he would be testing 1 time per week for the next 60 days. And here we are. You can make allocation.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do acknowledge the time being held in abeyance from November 18th was something I was not aware of. I don't believe he had counsel on that, so there's nothing in our system noting that. I did talk to him today about the inconsistency and non-compliance with the testing. He fully acknowledges absolutely it is accurate. He's been inconsistent or non-compliant with the testing and victim impact panel. He was originally scheduled to complete the victim impact panel, and he acknowledged to me that work conflicted with it, and he chose to go to work when he should have chose to go to VIP instead. He acknowledges that's not something he should have. He should have reprioritized which one of those was more important. He did talk to me today about if the court does consider allowing him to continue on probation, that would be something he is prioritizing this week above all else. It's getting set up and scheduled for that victim impact panel attendance. He also did talk to me about the inconsistency of testing and acknowledged that's largely been a work and money issue. Told me he could test on Friday, has the money then, and knows that if he's missing any tests after this, that absolutely the court is coming down on him. He is asking the court to consider allowing him to continue on probation, knowing full well it would be an extension of probation if it was originally due to end on March 17th. And he would be asking the court to consider that in his behalf.
Where does he work?
I was working at Walmart, and then I was working at MSU. Right now, my assignment ended because I was working with Tim Sir with MSU. Right now, they going to call me for a power plant job, but I'm trying to get in A-list property management.
When was the last time you worked?
Like a month ago now.
How is it that you're going to use the excuse that you could not do what you were ordered to do as part of your probation because you had work?
I just taking care of the family. I can't provide for my family. I have to be there for my kids. My wife is working, and I have to want kids once she work. She works during the day.
Are you high right now?
No, I'm not.
Why are your eyes red and glassy?
Just waking up not too long ago.
You just woke up not too long ago? Because my courtroom reeks of marijuana right now.
Oh, it ain't me. You can come smell me.
I don't need to come over there and smell you. I can smell the marijuana.
I just came in the courtroom. You ain't smell it before I came in?
I sure didn't, actually. I was sitting in here until they opened the door.
I don't smoke weed no more.
Okay.
Okay. I ain't smoked weed since I've been on probation.
Good. But I don't know that. You know why? Because you don't follow my orders. And if you think it's your responsibility to be out so you can take care of your children, then you would have thought it was your responsibility to follow court orders because you put yourself in this predicament. I did not. The court did not. The prosecutor did not. The public defender did not. And neither did the police. You took the actions that brought you before the court, and then you're not taking the actions to show that you have held yourself accountable and that you're willing to get on the right track. I give you a list of things to do and not very much things for you to do. You were supposed to engage in community mental health. You do it when you feel like it. You were supposed to be employed.
I've been going.
That's not what this report tells me. It tells me that's been inconsistent. You were supposed to go and complete victim impact panel, and I'm inclined to believe that was supposed to be within 90 days. You now are at a place where you should now be discharged and I don't have it done. You know why I don't have it done? Because you had no intention of doing it. You want to do what you want to do. And you think that we want to sit here and continue to babysit you as an adult man. Why in the world would anybody property management hire you to do anything? You're not responsible. Why would they hire you? Based on what? You think if they see this video, they're going to want to hire you? Would you hire you? No response? 30 days Ingham County Jail to be served immediately. Who is this?
This guy right here. Let me get the keys.
You got the
Can you
key.
step out of my courtroom, sir?
You should have the key.
Yes, and that's not fair.
Hey man, go on, man. That's not.
I'm discharging his probation. I refer the balance. Well, I'm terminating his probation and referring the balance to collection.
And Your Honor, can I ask, because the report I have is over a month old at this point, is the accurate balance still 472.11?
That's what I know. You still have that. Counsel, have your appearance.
Absolutely, Judge. Good afternoon. Jen Wilburn, P83143 for the plaintiff.
Okay, and ma'am, are Michaela Williams?
Yes.
Okay, today was the date that was set for a hearing. This is for a motion to set aside a default judgment. Ma'am, Ms. Williams, you defaulted by failing to appear for your hearing for an eviction proceeding. And you've now filed a motion to set aside that default judgment. In your motion, you indicate that you have different agencies seeking to help you, but that you also, you said the court, your previous court date was under your acknowledged because you was told a different date for March 8th. Who told you March 8th was your court date?
Yes, in my meeting from the last court, whoever I met with, I don't remember his name, but he said March 8th. That's the date I had down. When we had our breakout or whatever, I don't remember who I spoke with though.
What date did I tell you?
I believe March 8th as well.
I did not.
Okay, well, that's what I heard. Still, excuse me.
What date did
Yeah,
we
okay.
send a letter in the mail? With that same date, we mailed you a notice in the mail. It did
Yes,
not
ma'am, and I
come
did
back,
not get that. No, ma'am.
it did not come back to the court undeliverable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't get it
And
though. That's why I didn't
Oh,
appear, because I didn't know it was under my acknowledgement. I didn't know anything about it.
counsel, did you want to respond?
Briefly, Judge, it's plaintiff's position that there is no good cause or meritorious defense. Even if the court does find good cause based on the mix-up, there's not a meritorious defense outlined, which is required to set aside the default. So I would ask that the motion be denied.
I'm struggling with even with the good cause because I do landlord tenant hearings the same all the time. When I do pre-trials, I verbally tell you what your next court date is. So if you later go into a breakout room with someone and they say something different than what the judge told you, I would go back to the main courtroom and ask the judge, well, what you told me it was this date. What date is my court date? So that I make sure I have it accurately. That never happened, ma'am. In addition to that, I know that I have a document here that tells me that you were mailed a note. And see, right now, even as I'm talking to you now, you're preoccupied with putting food in your mouth or whatever you're doing in the background. And that's probably why you can't pay attention. I'm telling you,
Excuse me, I'm at work.
I
I'm at
don't
work, but
care.
yes, can we continue?
I don't care where you are. You are in court.
Continue, because I need to
So
get back
you
to
are in
work.
court.
I need to get back to work,
You are,
so continue. I
well,
need to get back to work, so
then.
continue.
Your motion is denied. Your motion is denied.
Okay,
Bye.
y'all have a good day. The fuck? Fuck y'all, bitch.
Go pay your rent. You're all set, Ms. Cox.
All right, so these folks here, they make me wish Zoom Court would go away, although I kind of need Zoom Court to thrive in order to do what I'm doing. But yesterday the guy was making fun of the judge's double chin. Today this lady's doing this. I don't get it. I don't get him. I can't begin to think of what it would take to have that sort of attitude with a judge. And it's not just respecting the position, it's just respecting people in general. And these people just don't seem to do that. So, and by these people, I mean the people in court. That's what I mean by these people. Let's go to Judge DeSanto. So, Margaret, earlier we're talking about the lady in Judge Fleischer's court who was needing to breastfeed, and it made me think about this little hearing here. This guy here had every dang reason why he couldn't be in jail, and it got me thinking about when you watch Biggins and you watch somebody get taken down by the police, and the first argument is, "Oh, I've got a bad back." Well, the bad back is horrible, but it's not what you don't act up with police if you got a bad back. You having a bad back is your problem, not the police officer's problem who's tackling you. He's following his procedure. These courts, they have to do what they have to do. They don't have all these options. So let's jump over to Judge DeSanto.
I did. You said I was gonna do what, well?
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. I'm sorry.
You're good. We're just, did Riverview log in yet?
Yeah, they're still in the breakout room. I'm just waiting for them to get out.
Oh, Ellie, that's where you are. Hi. I was like, wait, how did she get it?
I was doing charges, taking reports, and now I'm doing this.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so, let's see here. There you go.
Yes.
Okay, so we are on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Xavier Mendez, 25402. And Detective, your name for the record, please.
Detective Sergeant Bruce Herrick with the Riverview Police Department.
Okay, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. You may proceed on the warrant.
You can have a seat. Okay. Defendant Xavier Mendez, who is present today at Riverview Police Department, is in a dating relationship with the victim in this case, Bianca Munoz. Defendant Mendez has been residing with Bianca at 17403 River Green Court, apartment 103 in the city of Riverview, Michigan. RIPD officers have responded to this address multiple times for domestic violence related issues. On or about 3/22/2025 at 0300 hours, officers from Riverview Police Department responded to 17403 River Green Court, apartment 103 for a possible domestic violence incident, where a third-party caller called reporting yelling, screaming, and slamming doors for the past hour. Officers arrived and heard yelling and screaming, one of which was a male voice. While listening, officers heard a female voice yelling stop and help, as well as objects being thrown, moved, and doors being slammed. Officers knocked. Bianca answered the door, told officers her mother, Tammy, had fallen and was now injured and needed to go to the hospital. Bianca then tried to close the door on officers, while Sergeant Miller, believing there was exigent circumstances of a domestic assault, and now an admitted medical emergency, stopped Bianca from closing the door. Bianca then pushed Sergeant Miller and was then taken into custody for interfering. Officers then rendered aid to Tammy, who was lying on the living room floor with a bloody left wrist. Officers then searched the apartment and found defendant Mendez hiding in a closet in a back bedroom. Mendez was arrested for suspicion of domestic violence. While in custody, Mendez was searched prior to being placed in jail. The jail cells were also searched prior to Mendez being lodged there. However, several hours after being in custody, when an officer was allowing Mendez to make a phone call in the RIPD processing room, the officer noticed an object in Mendez's pants. When asked, Mendez told the officer he did not have anything in his pants. The officer checked Mendez's pants and discovered an unmarked prescription bottle with 73 Adderall pills wrapped in paper towel. Mendez's criminal history is extensive and includes a felony conviction in 2015 for home invasion first and assault and battery, a felony conviction in 2023 for larceny from a person, which was a plea bargain from original charge of armed robbery. And Mendez currently has a domestic violence charge pending in the 20th District Court for a 2022 case in Dearborn Heights. Mendez also has many assaultive crimes, including domestic violence, armed robbery, and weapon possession that have been dismissed, including a felony CSC third case that was dismissed under HIDTA in 2015. Further, Mendez is currently on active parole due to his larceny from a person conviction. Mendez has many parole conditions, one of which is no contact with Bianca Munoz, who is a victim in this current case.
Thank you. Upon examination of the witness, I find the offenses charged were committed and there's probable cause to believe the defendant committed those offenses. Counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Corey Westmoreland appearing on behalf of Mr. Mendez.
Mr. Mendez, your name for the record, please.
Xavier Mendez.
All right. And, counsel, I ask you to read ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I did have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Mendez of the charges, all of his rights, and possible penalties. He had no other questions for me, so at this time we are prepared to waive a formal reading. My client stands mute.
All right, the court will waive the formal reading. Sir, you do have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint one to represent you. In fact, you've had an opportunity to meet with the prosecuting or with an attorney via Zoom today, correct?
Yes, I met with attorney Corey Westmoreland.
Okay, the court has also signed the petition in order for court-appointed attorney for felony matters as well. You have the right to be presumed innocent to prove guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. You also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
The court is going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Schedule this matter for probable cause conference on April 3rd.
10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. Counsel as to bond.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like you to know that Mr. Mendez currently is residing in Taylor. He is a father of two. He's currently residing with his father and his brother. He is a union concrete worker. However, he's due to start working in the upcoming weeks as the weather starts changing. As the detective already indicated, he is on parole out of Wayne County. He is in contact with his parole officer. He does usually meet with her every Tuesday or Wednesday. After speaking with Mr. Mendez at length this morning, he did assure me he would be appearing at all future court dates and understands the importance of appearing. I would just ask that all that be taken into account when assessing a bond.
Okay, sir, you live in Taylor?
Yes, ma'am. With my father, my stepmother, and my little brother.
Okay. And how long has it been since you lived in Lincoln Park, sir?
Oh, man. I haven't lived in Lincoln Park in years.
Well, that's the address for you. So have you changed your address to Taylor?
Lincoln Park, I haven't lived there since maybe 2022.
Okay. Well, sir.
Yeah, I do need to update my my ID. But when I was released from MDOC, they have a program where you get your birth certificate and your driver's license or ID. And the last address that was on file is why my ID has that.
Okay, and then, today you filled out the request for court appointed attorney today, but you refused to sign it, is that correct?
I refuse to sign what, ma'am?
You didn't sign, the request for appointment of attorney, you filled out the paperwork, correct?
No, I need a court appointed attorney. I didn't refuse to sign anything. Just
Okay, sir, did you complete this paperwork, sir?
an officer, he brought me the paperwork this morning and I signed it.
Your Honor, if I may speak to that incident.
Oh, sorry, you need the attorney?
Lieutenant Gentry, the Riverview Police Department, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Due to a biohazard concern in the jail cell with Mr. Mendez, we did not ask him to sign the form.
Okay, did he fill out the form or he filled the form out?
He was asked the questions by Officer Barron, and Officer Barron relayed the information via the form.
Okay, so I thank you. And so I asked that question because Mr. Mendez, you have told your attorney you live in Taylor, you told the court you live in Taylor, yet you relayed the address of River Green Drive in the apartment that you're not supposed to be at as your address.
No, I never gave them that as my address. That's where I was arrested at. I've never once said I've ever resided there, Miss.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Okay. And sir, the matter out of the 20th District Court for domestic violence. Who is the complaining witness in that matter?
That was my ex-wife.
What's her name?
Back in Monica Mendez.
And is that who you have a child in common with that you pay child support for?
Yeah. And I also have another child that I pay child support for as well.
Okay, and is that with Miss?
From another mother.
Is that with Bianca Munoz or no?
That would be Rebecca Humbarger, but Bianca Munoz is pregnant. I am expecting.
Okay, and when is the baby due?
Come again, I'm sorry.
When is the child expected to be born?
Oh, she's early, so we just found out. So probably not till the end of the year, beginning of next year, I assume. What is it? March, April?
Okay, and sir, how
January. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to hear, Your Honor.
How long have you been on parole?
8 months.
8 months. And is one of those conditions of your parole not to have any contact with Ms. Munoz?
Yeah, that stipulation was just put in a couple months ago.
Okay, what month?
January.
January. And why was that stipulation put in January, sir?
Because there was an incident. She beat me up, and I literally got my butt beat. My face was pumpkin headed. No one said anything. I wasn't gonna tell on my girlfriend. She didn't have a mark on her. That's all in the police report. So then they took me to jail.
Excuse me. I'm not asking for a factual dissertation. I'm just simply asking as to what precipitated having.
I got beat up by my girlfriend, so they took me to jail for getting beat up.
Okay, so because you got beat up, it was a no contact order?
There was no contact order yet.
Based from your parole, it is.
No, January, when the incident happened, there was no contact order yet. I got beat up by her. I went to jail for domestic violence. When I went to see my parole officer, the next time I seen her, probably like a week or two later, she issued the no contact order.
Okay. And so you have a matter pending from January 15th. Did he already come to court on that one?
No, I've been waiting to hear back from that. The paperwork that you guys gave me, I received a ticket and it said that the district court will be getting in touch with me.
Right, well, you
yeah.
sent it, sir. If your address shows Lafayette Boulevard, that's where it would have been sent. We don't track
What
people.
about my phone number? My phone number is on that file as well.
It's in Mark's status.
Okay, does it show the Lincoln Park address?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna pull that matter, we're gonna arraign you on that one as well, because it's currently in mooring status, because we sent it to the last known address that we had, which was Lafayette Boulevard. That is why it is your responsibility and important to make sure you are updating your address, sir. And you did not do that. Do a change of address, nobody knows where to find you in Taylor except perhaps your parole agent. So we're gonna pull that file, and then we're gonna arraign you on that one as well. Where do you work, sir?
I'm laid off and I'm waiting to go back to work this month or the first week of April. I'm in 1191 Laborers Union. I do concrete. I usually work 7 days a week, 15 to 17 hours a day.
And why haven't you taken care of your matter out of the 20th District Court? The domestic violence, why haven't you taken care of that matter?
Because I have PTSD and I don't like sitting in the jail cell. I wanted to wait until I was off parole and get my ducks in a row before I actually have to go through with all that. It's a lot to sit in these holding cells.
Well, sir, I would think that part of one of your conditions of parole would be to get all your ducks in a row before you're released from parole. But I'm showing here that as of July 10th of 2024, paragraph 5 of your special conditions, you must not have verbal, written, electronic, or physical contact with Bianca Munoz.
That wasn't from July 10th. That was from January. Ask my parole officer. She's right there.
Sir, I know what I need to do for my next steps. You do not need to tell me what I have to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that disrespectful, Miss, Your Honor. I'm just stating that July 10th, that was not a stipulation. That stipulation didn't get put in place until January of 2025.
Madam Parole Agent, if you could please state and spell your first and last names for the record.
Agent Dappermont, Terrisita is my first name. Dappermont, Dapremont is my last name.
All right, thank you. And when did the no contact provision become a condition of Mr. Mendez's parole?
January the 28th of this year, 2025.
Okay. And Mr. Mendez was aware of that, correct?
Yes, he was, and he signed it.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I please say something?
Yes, please.
The 3 times since the special condition has been placed, I will remind Mr. Mendez every time he reported to stay away from Bianca Munoz. He has a special condition. Every time he would report.
Thank you very much. Was there anything else you'd like to say?
As far as a job is concerned, he has been telling me since he's been on parole that he's going to go to the union, He's going to the union. Every time he reports, I told him this last time, we're not looking for the union job no more. You're going to a job there. So he is not working.
Oh, okay. So Mr. Mendez, have you at any point since you've been on parole provided your parole agent with a paycheck proof that you're actually working?
I call my union hall every month, ma'am.
Sir, my question is a simple yes or no. Have you, since you've been on parole, provided your parole agent with proof of a paycheck from any job that you've worked since you've been released from custody and on parole?
No, ma'am.
No. So then you don't work. You've been on parole for 8 months. And I guarantee, sir, that during those 8 months, there was construction pouring season, sir, and you have not worked. So stop using the union as your employer, because clearly, sir, you're either not employed or a member of the union, or you're refusing to work at the jobs or whatnot. There are plenty of concrete cement jobs that have been poured over the last 8 months.
May I say something, Your Honor, please?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I came home in July. That is the worst and hardest time to get a job through the union because it's the end of the season. So that is why I did not get a job. I was number 200 and something on the list from July to December. And as of now, I should be like number 5 or 7 on that list.
Sir, let me be very clear with you. I may not look like I pour concrete or I know much about concrete, but I certainly know that July is not the end of the season. And I can certainly tell you that there are places all over the state of Michigan that were pouring even through December because it was a much more mild temperature through the month of December and people were still pouring. So July was certainly not the end of the season. So do not try that with me.
That was not what I was saying. It is towards the end of the season, ma'am. July, August, September, October, November, December. It is the hardest to get in at that time, miss. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Your Honor. I have to call my union hall and the BAs. They tell me monthly, okay, you're number 275. You're number 115. You're number 96. Once December hit, they pause that. They stop it all the way until March.
Okay,
you can call the 1191 Labor's Union yourself, and you guys can even request under my behalf and ask them where I'm at on that list.
Mr. Mendez. So knowing that, what did you do to get a job for something else? What did you do?
So what was I doing? I was helping my mom preparate taxes.
To preparate taxes?
Yeah, my mom does taxes, so I was helping her with her job. And I was doing odd jobs as well. I have 2 buddies that have LLCs and they do work, like they renovate houses. So I have helped these guys do labor. And when I do get money, I help my stepmother where I reside. I help out with bills when I can.
Sir, first of all, let's be clear. I do not believe that you reside in Taylor.
Okay.
And neither do I.
All right, and Detective Sergeant Herrick, would you like to address bond?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just say, just based on Mr. Mendez's criminal history, that's extensive, along with a clear disregard for court's orders evident by several warrants for his arrest, along with one for failure to appear for a domestic violence incident in Dearborn Heights out of 20th District Court. I would just ask for, and also, and I believe Agent Deprimont will testify to his disregard for the parole board's conditions as well. I would just ask for a high cash bond, and if he is able to make bond, some sort of electronic monitoring.
Well, here's the thing. The court, given Mr. Mendez's parole status, given the no contact order with Ms. Munoz, yet Mr. Mendez continues to disregard that just by pure basis of being at the property at the time of the arrest. The court does find that that has occurred. Everything else obviously is has not been proven at this point. The court, and given that Mr. Mendez has indicated that Ms. Munoz is expecting his child, which tells the court that they clearly had contact, likely when they weren't supposed to have contact, especially since he says that she's early on in her pregnancy And we're moving into month 3 at this point from when he's not supposed to have contact with her. Well, at least month 2, we're completed month 2. The court's going to remand Mr. Mendez without probation or without bond. The court's going to order that you are not to have any contact with Ms. Munoz, Bianca Munoz, nor Tammy Munoz. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, any sort of third party, any electronic communication device. Do not try to speak with her through the jail. Is that clear, sir? I'm not sure if you're going to be in Wayne County Jail custody or MDOC custody. I'm going to presume MDOC custody.
Am I going to Macomb, Ms. Deppermont?
Sir, I'm in the middle of speaking. Please do not interrupt me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done, Your Honor. I apologize.
You're not to possess or have access to any firearms and or any weapons. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. And you're not to return to the property at River Green Boulevard. Obviously, well, the court's going to indicate if for some reason you are discharged from custody, which you shouldn't be because I'm ordering you to be remanded without bond, GPS tether, house arrest. What was your question you had, sir?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. It's kind of hard to hear a little bit. Did you say you were going to put me on tether house arrest?
No, I'm sorry. I understand that it's difficult to hear some, I don't know what it is, if it's on this end, and I don't know, but probably on this end. But no, I said in the event for some reason you are released from custody, then there would be a GPS house arrest provision. I am remanding you to jail without bond, sir. I'm not giving you a bond. You're out on parole. You have specific conditions. You have violated those conditions. There has been domestic violence charges and assault battery charges as a result of that contact. And then there's also the felony matter about bringing contraband into the jail.
Those are my prescriptions.
Your question, so you'll be evaluated by a doctor if you need medical assistance. And I'm sorry, you had a question for your parole agent, sir?
So Ms. Deppermont, what's going on? Am I going
I will
to
be there.
Macomb?
I will be there to see you this afternoon to serve you parole violation charges.
And then I'll be going to Macomb?
I don't know.
So my
well, hold on.
How long?
Just a moment. Mr. Westmoreland, I'm going to also proceed with arraigning your client on the 25116 matter in just a moment. That's a Riverview matter. So I'm going to handle that in just one moment.
Fuck somebody.
Do you have another question, Mr. Mendez? Mr. Mendez, did you have another question?
I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. What's going on?
What's going on is that you're going to be reviewed into custody until your next court date.
I get that. Am I going to the county jail? Am I going on DOC? How long is my violation? What, like, how am I gonna be in custody of MDOC but at the county jail? How does that
When
work?
you're on parole, you know that you face the criminal side of the law and you also face the parole. You have to face the parole board. You have violated special condition 4.5, which is an assault of condition, a condition that I don't take lightly, and you know that.
I didn't assault nobody, Ms. Deppermont.
No, but we have a special condition in place, so nobody will be assaulted.
That's
but
my
you
baby mama.
listen, you ignored that special condition, so we must proceed on the parole side. That's all it is. Period. And I will see you. I will see you this afternoon to talk with you.
And Mr. Mendez, let me be very clear. I've been apprised of your behavior while you've been in the Riverview Police Department. Let me be very, very, very clear, sir. If that behavior continues, you will likely face additional charges as well.
I have mental health issues. I'm suicidal.
Excuse me, whether it's at the Riverview Police Department, the Wayne County Jail, or Macomb County MDOC. Either way, if that behavior continues, you will likely be facing additional charges.
For having mental health?
Sir, mental health.
Ma'am, I am not on my meds. I am mentally ill. And you guys are, I said all weekend, they didn't even feed me one time. They just started feeding me Monday.
Okay.
I said Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I didn't get my STI meds. I didn't get food. I didn't get nothing. They left me on a thing. I feces myself and they left me on a thing for a whole 24 plus hours with feces all down my legs.
Okay.
I have not been getting good treatment in here.
Okay. Sir, again, let me just clarify. There's no reason any of the behavior that's being alleged should occur. So, on this matter, we'll see you back on April 3rd. On the other matter, which is your matter from January 15th, and counsel, I understand that you're at a disadvantage, so this is case 25116, City of Riverview versus Xavier Mendez. I understand you're at a disadvantage because you don't have this information, but I will just go forward with the arraignment. It alleges on January 15th at 17403 River Green that Mr. Mendez gave false information to a police officer, and that's in the City of Riverview. The maximum penalty upon conviction is not more than 90 days in jail and or a $500 fine. The court's going to enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment on that matter. We'll schedule that matter for a pretrial on April 7th.
10
At 10 a.m.
Now, Your Honor, I'm supposed to be getting a colonoscopy and also a throat thing. I have low hemoglobins. They're trying to find out if I have cancer or if I'm eternally bleeding. And the next 5 days of this month, I'm supposed to be getting blood transfusions and iron infusions as well.
Okay, sir. There is a medical facility within the MDOC. There's even a medical facility within Wayne County Jail. So they will provide that to you. Okay? I will mark your file medical, and that will be addressed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The court's going to order bond on 25116 in the matter of $10,000 personal as is remanded on the other matter. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Agent Deppermont.
What'd you say, Judge?
I said thank you. Have a good day.
No, I appreciate you, and I'm happy I sat in on this one. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, I think I found my new favorite court person, Miss Deppermont, the middle square. That lady was awesome. I love how she wasn't putting up with nothing he wanted to argue with. Imagine having to deal with him every month. You know, it's already bad enough all the baby mamas he has, but imagine having to talk to him every month and just know that you're going to go to work and he's just going to come up with some damn excuse. I think we're going to get out of here. It's way past my bedtime, so I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you coming out. We will do this tomorrow morning with Judge Fleischer, and probably tomorrow evening with hell, it'll just be me tomorrow. So we'll just do that. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
left without signing his mower.
Oh, yes, I think.
Please.